Ladies, let's talk about something that too many women overlook what a man says. Words matter. And while actions are important, sometimes a man will tell you exactly who he is if you just listen closely. There are certain phrases that should immediately make you pause, step back, and reassess the situation because they reveal deeper issues, toxic behavior, or straight up manipulation. You don't need to wait for months of heartbreak to see the signs many times. They're right there in his words from the start. When a man tells you, I'm not looking for anything serious right now, believe him. Too many women hear this and think, maybe he just hasn't met the right person yet, or I'll show him that I'm different. But the truth is, he's giving you fair warning. He's letting you know that he's not interested in commitment. And no amount of love, patience, or effort on your part is going to change that. This phrase is often said in a way that seems honest, even kind. He might say it gently, as if he's protecting your feelings. He might tell you he really likes you, enjoys spending time with you, but he just wants to go with the flow. What he's really saying is that he wants all the benefits of a relationship, your time, your energy, your affection, without the responsibility of one. And if you continue investing in him, hoping he'll change his mind, you're setting yourself up for heartbreak. A man who says this may still act like he's in a relationship with you. He may call you every day, take you on dates, introduce you to his friends, and even talk about the future. But the moment you ask for clarity, the moment you express your needs, he will remind you that he already told you he wasn't looking for anything serious. And suddenly you're the one feeling guilty for expecting more. The harsh reality is when a man is truly interested in you, when he sees you as someone he wants in his life long term, he won't hesitate to make it known. He won't play games. He won't leave you guessing. He will show up, put in the effort, and make it clear that he wants to be with you. But when he tells you up front that he's not looking for anything serious, he's giving himself a free pass to treat you however he wants while keeping his options open. Some men say this because they genuinely don't want a relationship, while others use it as a safety net. They want to keep you around without making a commitment. Either way, it's a sign that you're not on the same page. Instead of trying to convince him to change, recognize that you deserve someone who is already sure about you. When a man constantly refers to his ex as crazy, it's a major red flag. At first, it might seem like he's just venting about a bad relationship, but pay close attention. If every story he tells about his past is about how terrible, toxic, or unstable his ex was, you have to ask yourself, what's the common denominator? A man who never takes accountability for his past relationships is showing you that he lacks self-awareness and emotional maturity. It's one thing if he shares that a past relationship was difficult, but if he paints himself as the victim every single time, that's a problem. Relationships involve two people, and if he's always blaming the other person, it means he's not reflecting on his own actions. Worse, he may be trying to manipulate you into feeling sorry for him so you won't question his behavior. Another reason this is a red flag is that if he talks this way about his ex, chances are he'll talk the same way about you when things don't go his way. He may call you crazy for expressing your emotions, standing up for yourself, or setting boundaries. The way he speaks about his past relationships is a window into how he will handle conflict and accountability in the future. A man who respects women will acknowledge past mistakes, not dismiss every ex as the problem. When a man tells you, why are you being so emotional? He's not just making a casual comment dismissing your feelings. This phrase is often used as a way to shut you down, invalidate your emotions, and make you question yourself. It's a tactic that shifts the focus away from what he did wrong and places the blame on you for reacting to it. Over time, hearing this repeatedly can make you feel like you're the problem, like you're overreacting, or even like you need to suppress your emotions just to keep the peace. A man who genuinely cares about you will never make you feel bad for expressing yourself. He will listen, try to understand, and work with you to resolve any issues. But a man who constantly accuses you of being too emotional is trying to control the narrative. He wants to avoid taking accountability by making you feel guilty for even bringing up your concerns. The more you accept this, the more he will continue dismissing your needs and boundaries. Another dangerous aspect of this phrase is that it creates an emotional imbalance in the relationship. If you feel like you always have to keep quiet, walk on eggshells, or downplay your feelings to avoid being labeled as dramatic, then you're in a situation where your voice isn't valued. Healthy relationships are built on open communication and emotional safety. If he truly respects and values you, he won't try to gaslight you into thinking your emotions are a problem. Men who say this often do so because they lack the emotional intelligence to handle real conversations. Instead of acknowledging how their actions affect you, they take the easy way out by making you feel like your feelings are the issue. But emotions are natural, and in a healthy relationship, both partners should feel safe expressing them. What's even more concerning is that when a man dismisses your emotions early on, it's usually a sign that he will continue doing so in bigger ways later. What starts as brushing off small concerns can escalate into ignoring major red flags, disrespecting boundaries, and making you feel unseen in the relationship. Emotional invalidation is not something to overlook. If a man refuses to acknowledge your feelings and consistently tries to make you feel wrong for expressing them, he's showing you that he's not emotionally available for a real partnership. When a man says, "I don't believe in labels," what he's really saying is that he wants all the benefits of a relationship without the responsibility. At first, this might sound like he has a deep philosophical view on love and connection. He might say that labels don't define a relationship, that he just wants things to happen naturally, or that putting a title on things will ruin what you have. But the reality is, when a man truly values you and sees a future with you, he won't hesitate to make it clear. This phrase is often used as a way to keep you in a gray area and undefined space where he can have access to you without giving you the security and clarity that come with commitment. It allows him to do what he wants while keeping you in a position where you're unsure of where you stand. And the longer you accept it, the more he benefits, while you're left hoping for something more. Men who say this often want to leave their options open. They may be seeing other women or keeping you as an option while they figure out what they really want. If a man is truly serious about you, he won't be afraid of a title. He won't be afraid to call you his girlfriend, his partner, or even his future wife. Commitment isn't about labels, it's about clarity, security, and respect. When a man refuses to define the relationship, he's putting his own needs above yours. If you desire commitment, if you want to know where you stand, and if you need reassurance in your relationship, then that is valid. A relationship should be a place where both people feel safe and valued, not where one person gets everything they want while the other is left confused. The truth is, when a man says he doesn't believe in labels, he's really saying he doesn't want to be tied down. And the danger is that if you stay in this situation, hoping that things will change, you may waste months or even years waiting for him to be ready, only for him to eventually move on to someone else and commit to her without hesitation. A man who truly wants you will never make you question where you stand. He will be clear about his intentions and show you through his actions that he is serious about you. When a man tells you you're different from other women, it might sound like a compliment at first. He might say it with a smile, looking into your eyes, making you feel special. But before you get too flattered, take a step back and really listen to what he's saying. This phrase is often a subtle red flag because it usually comes with an undertone of comparison. Instead of appreciating you for who you are, he's putting other women down to make you feel like you have to prove that you're not like them. A man who says this might be testing you to see if you'll work harder for his approval. He might share negative stories about past relationships or generalize women as being too emotional, needy, or dramatic tell you that you're the exception. This can create an unhealthy dynamic where you feel pressure to maintain that special status by ignoring your own needs or tolerating behaviors that make you uncomfortable. The moment you express a boundary, disagree with him, or show emotions that don't align with his expectations, you might suddenly find yourself labeled just like the women he claimed to dislike. This phrase can also indicate that he holds negative or unrealistic views about women. If he truly respects women, he won't need to put others down to lift you up. A man who appreciates you should do so without making comparisons. He should admire your qualities because of who you are, not because you fit into some mold that makes him feel superior. Another reason this phrase is problematic is that it can be a setup for manipulation. A man who constantly reinforces the idea that you're different may be trying to isolate you. He may subtly make you feel like other women can't be trusted, that they're all the same, and that only he truly understands you. This can be a tactic to keep you from seeking support, questioning his behavior, or recognizing unhealthy patterns in the relationship. A healthy relationship doesn't require you to compete with other women or prove your worth by being different. A man who genuinely values you will appreciate you for who you are without needing to degrade others. Instead of feeling flattered by this statement, recognize it for what it is: a red flag disguised as a compliment. When a man says, "You're too good for me," it may sound like humility, but in reality, it's a warning. At first, you might think he's being sweet, that he's acknowledging your value, or that he just has low self-esteem. But more often than not, this phrase is a way of lowering your expectations before he even disappoints you. It's his way of telling you that he knows he won't treat you the way you deserve, and he's hoping you'll stick around anyway. This statement can also be a tactic to make you chase him. When a man tells you that you're too good for him, your natural reaction might be to reassure him, to prove that you see his worth, and to convince him that he is enough. Before you know it, you're investing your time and energy into lifting him up while ignoring the fact that he's already telling you he isn't ready or capable of giving you what you need. Instead of him pursuing you, he flips the dynamic, making you feel like you need to earn his love and commitment. Another problem with this phrase is that it creates an imbalance in the relationship. If you believe him, you may start lowering your standards just to make him feel comfortable. You may accept poor treatment because you think, well, he told me he wasn't good enough, or you may excuse his actions by believing he just needs time to realize his own value. But the truth is, a man who truly respects and values you will step up to meet your standards instead of using self-pity as a way to manipulate your expectations. Men who say this often know exactly what they're doing. They want the benefits of your kindness, patience, and loyalty, but they don't want to be held accountable for being a real partner. By making you feel like they're not good enough, they create a situation where you keep giving more, hoping that your love will be enough to change them. But a man who genuinely wants to be with you won't try to convince you that he's unworthy, will rise to the occasion and prove that he is. If a man tells you he's not good enough for you, believe him the first time and don't fall into the trap of trying to fix him. When a man says, "I'm just really busy right now," it may seem like a reasonable excuse, but in reality, it's often a way to keep you at arm's length while still holding on to you as an option. Everyone has responsibilities, work, family, personal goals, but when a man truly values you, he makes time. No one is too busy to check in, send a quick message, or spend quality time with someone they genuinely care about. So when a man constantly tells you he's busy, what he's really saying is that you're not a priority. This phrase is often used to keep you hanging on without giving you real commitment. He might reach out occasionally, give you just enough attention to keep you interested, but never consistently show up in the way a real partner should. You'll notice that plans get canceled, Calls go unanswered and communication becomes one-sided. Yet, whenever you bring up your concerns, he'll remind you how hectic his life is, making you feel guilty for even questioning it. This can lead to a cycle where you start justifying his absence and making excuses for him rather than recognizing the truth. If he wanted to be there, he would be. Another danger of this phrase is that it keeps you emotionally invested while he remains non-committal. He may genuinely be busy, but if he truly wanted to build something with you, he would find ways to make time, even in small moments. A quick call during a break, a text to check in, or planning ahead for when things slow down. These are the signs of a man who values your presence in his life. When a man consistently uses his schedule as a reason for his lack of effort, he's letting you know that you are not a priority. What's even more telling is that the same man who claims to be too busy often has time for the things he truly enjoys. He finds time to go out with friends, engage in hobbies, or scroll through social media. But when it comes to you, suddenly his schedule is too packed. The truth is, a man will always make time for what matters to him. If he's repeatedly telling you that he's too busy, believe his actions over his words. Ladies, a man will always show you who he is. Sometimes he does it through his actions, but more often than not, he does it through his words. The question is, are you listening? Don't ignore the red flags. Don't make excuses for them. When you hear these phrases, pay attention because they reveal exactly what kind of man you're dealing with. A real man, a man who values and respects you, will never make you feel confused, belittled, or unworthy. Choose a love that lifts you up, not one that drains you.